Hello and welcome to my review of the Instax Mini Evo. It's the latest addition to Fujifilm Instax Hybrid range. It takes the mini Instax film. It's due to be released in the EU, UK and US in February 2022. This is from Amazon Japan. I bought it as a Christmas present to myself. It cost me £185 with import, including in the import duties there. I don't recommend you buy it from Japan though, because you won't get the warranty, and the app hasn't officially been released, but I have managed to install it and I'll show you that later. So it comes with a camera, shoulder strap, USB cable, user guide and the warranty slip. Yeah, the strap is really nice actually. It's nice and thick, and you've got these tags here, you can click it on and off, which is quite handy. I see what they've tried to do with the looks of the camera. They've tried to make it look analog, so the selfie mirror is made to look a bit like a viewfinder, and the print lever here kind of reminds me of a film advance lever. If I just show you what I mean. So here's an old 35mm. You've got the reflective viewfinder and film advance lever there. So it's quite smart what they try to do. Saying that, it is all made of plastic. There is no metal on here, even though it's trying to look like metal. The only thing that isn't plastic is the lens, which is glass. Benefit of that is it's light, but it does feel quite plasticky. So the buttons on off, shutter button there, another shutter button here. This button, little button here, is to take you back to normal, no filters. You've got a lens filter scroll ring around the lens there. You also got a scroll knob for the film filters here. Print lever, cold shoe mount. This isn't a hot shoe mount, this is a cold shoe mount, which means you can't synchronize a flash, but you can use continuous lighting on there. Underneath you've got the charging port and the SD card. Unfortunately the battery's built in, so you can't remove it. So 5 years from now, when your lithium battery dies, I think a lot of people would unfortunately just get rid of the camera, unless you're willing to take it apart and replace it. You've got a tripod hole, which is good because that was missing from the LiPlay, not quite sure how you say it. So that's good to have that back. But there is no bulb mode, unfortunately, like there is on the SQ10 and 20, which is a square hybrid format. And this is where the film comes out. So on the flash, it's unfortunately an LED flash. The range of LED flashes is quite short. So it's only about 2 meters. It's not very powerful. The only camera they have in the hybrid range that has a traditional flash is the SQ10, and the range on that was 8 meters. So it is a bit of a downgrade. The red light here, it lights up when you're charging. I think it also lights up on self-timer mode. Okay. So yeah, that's another additional benefit of the cold shoe mount. In terms of the flash, you can add your own lighting on. You can also add a viewfinder if you don't like the screen. So in terms of comparing it to the LiPlay, a benefit of this one is the screen is double the resolution, and I think that's good because on the SQ20 and the LiPlay, I don't think it was high enough. So it's good to see the high resolution screen back. Okay, so let's just turn it on. I'll just use a picture I took in Reykjavik just for something to focus on. First, I'll just quickly show you the main menu. You've got face detection, autofocus illuminator, Bluetooth settings, print quality mode, there's rich mode and natural mode. I've only used the rich mode. Print brightness, this is quite useful because sometimes the picture can appear brighter on the screen than when you print. You've got date, time, date stamp, language, sound setup, auto power off. I think you can have it on for up to 5 minutes before it turns off on idle. Reset, format and firmware update. You can also zoom in like that with left and right. There's another option. If you press up here, you've got another choice of menus. You've got exposure, you can make it lighter, darker, self timer up to 10 seconds. The flash you can turn on and off. This one has a dedicated macro mode. I don't think this is on the LiPlay, but all their hybrid cameras have a really good macro range. I think officially they say from 10 centimeters, but from experience it's actually much closer than that, so it's quite good. Also under white balance, there's more options. You've got auto, fine, shade, and you've got fluorescent 1, 2 and 3, and incandescent light. So that's good to have. So the focus is literally just like any other camera. You just press it halfway and it focuses. And I'll just quickly now show you the lenses, the film filters, sorry. So that's normal, vivid, pale, canvas, monochrome, sepia, yellow, red, blue, retro. And for the lens filters, you have normal, vignette, soft focus, blur, fisheye, color shift, light leak, mirror, double exposure, which is pretty cool. This was on the SQ10 and SQ20. So you can overlay 2 images, then you take the other one straight after. There you go. And you get some really good effects for that. And the final one is half frame, which enables you to put 2 images onto one same film. And this is the film. I took this picture of this off camera in rich mode. It does come out really nice. The colours are really vivid. So when you're displaying your images to print, you just literally just pull the lever and it prints. Okay, so those are the filters. Because there's so many, it takes a long time to actually compose your shot and work out what to have. But one way of making yourself a bit quicker, once you know your favorites, is to preset your favorite combinations. So because there's 10 of each, there's 100 different combinations. So it's quite useful having this. So you literally just press plus and you select the ones you want to save. Let's go for retro and vignette. And to save, you press OK there. And there's 3 presets, so you can save it under one of those 3. So now it's saved. Go back to normal, you press this button. This takes you back to no filters. And then to get your filter back up, invoke. So you press plus again. And then you select your favorite combination. So that's quite a useful feature to have. Now I'll just quickly show you some of the pictures I've taken with the camera. So yeah, you can zoom in and move, then print from here. You can also, if you press menu, you can erase, image, rotate and copy. But you can apply filters after you've taken the picture. You have to do it before. You could on SQ10 and SQ20, but you can't on here. Okay. So to get what lenses, what filters you've used, you just press that button there. So that's no filters. This is of a cross with flowers overlaid. So that's a double exposure there. This is a mirrored image. I did actually print out this image. I did notice it did come out darker. It was a cold day. I don't know if that affected the developing of the picture. But in the menu, there was the option to lighten your picture, so you can play around with that. I do quite like the mirror. This is vivid. I have noticed features do get lost with the vivid filter, like the bell tower there. My favourite filter is a monochrome because it does pick up details really well. I also like light leaks. It kind of colours in the sky. Yeah, the angles of this screen, depending on the angle, the brightness can change. I also like these filters. So that's the colour filters. That's blue, red, and yellow. Yeah, I literally just went to my local church to take these, just to get an idea of the kind of the filters you can have. This one here is of a 153-year-old from 1542. I think they may have accidentally added that one in. This one is also pretty cool because it's a skull and crossbones, also from the 16th century. It's a bit hard to see on here. I did write a review online, and I'll put a link in the comment section below so you can see these pictures better. I really do like the mirror and the monochrome there. Yeah, so it's quite fun. You can try different things, get loads of cool effects. This one here is a scanned image from the late 80s of me and my mum. The reason I put it on the SD card is because I noticed in the specs, if you print from the camera, the resolution is a lot higher. It's 25 dots per millimeter. Whereas if you print from the app, it's 12.5 dots per millimeter. So it was just me experimenting, really. So the actual print did come out really well. I don't know if anyone would actually bother doing that. You'd most probably just print from the app. It was just experimenting, really. But if you did want to do this, you have to name it a certain way, 4 letters and 4 numbers, and it has to be in a JPEG format. Okay. So I'll just quickly now show you the app. The app I found really easy to use, much like the Live Play. So if we get that up, it should automatically connect to the Bluetooth because I've already used it. So so you can select images from your phone gallery or your tablet gallery. So let's go through a cute little kitten. Things you can do, you can edit, you can crop, zoom. The filter's very limited. There's only monochrome and sepia. You can also mess about with the brightness, contrast, and saturation. And when you're happy, just press print, and it prints to the Bluetooth printer in your camera. So that's really easy to use. Another cool feature is the remote shooting. So you can set up on a tripod, then control it from your phone or your tablet. There's a live view function, so you can see what the camera's seeing. If I just put Henry the Hoover down and we take a picture of him. Okay. Let's put him over there actually, so he's filling in. So yeah, really easy. You just literally just press take picture. And there it is, and then you can print it or not. It also tells you how much film you got left and battery life up there as well, which is quite handy. Another thing you can do is transfer images. I've not used this yet. It says you can transfer your printed image from the Instax Mini Evo and save it with a frame to your smartphone. Under settings, you can do things like reset the Bluetooth if you're having problems, and check for firmware updates and frequently asked questions and stuff like that. So to summarize, would I recommend this camera? Yes, I would. It's very fun. One thing I will say is the sensor is very small. It's 1/5 of an inch. It's actually a downgrade from the original SQ10, which was 1/4 of an inch. So the resolution of your images is going to be quite low. It's going to be about 5 megapixels. The way I view the digital images from this camera, I see them as a backup to the physical ones I print. And if you go in with that mindset, it kind of makes sense. And when you think about it, you're only ever going to print it onto a small credit card size film. So it only needs to be 5 megapixels. But obviously on a computer screen, when you zoom in, it's going to be quite pixelated. Benefits of the hybrid is obviously you can choose what you print. With analog, you're kind of wasting film sometimes, but that's part of the charm of Instax instant photography, because you don't know how your picture's going to turn out. It's a bit of a challenge, and you've got to really consider what you're doing and think it through, because it costs money. I think for a pack of 50 mini Instax film UK, it's £35, so it's quite expensive. So if you ain't got a lot of money and you can afford to buy this, it's kind of worth it because you do save film. And the way I view the digital element is it's just a way of adding filters and and knowing what you're going to print pretty much. So it's fun. It's great at parties and stuff like that. I like the way it looks as well. I do like the app. It's really nice. And also the strap is quite nice as well. Things I don't like I said, is they haven't improved the sensor. The LED flash, I'm not a fan of LED flashes. They're not very powerful. But you, like I said, you can add additional lighting if you wish. But you can't use a synchronized flash because it's not a hot shoe, it's a cold shoe. Yeah, I like the number of filters. I don't like all the filters. I have my favorites. So I like the monochrome and the light leak in the mirror. I think they're my favorite. It's definitely an upgrade from the Live Play because of just the number of filters and the way it looks as well, and the resolution of the screen on the back, and also the print resolution when you print from the camera. Not so much when you print from the app. It's going to be the same as the Live Play in that respect. So my ideal Instax camera, a hybrid camera, would be something like this, but in the wide format. They have released a printer, so I'm hoping they will also release a wide version, because the wide cameras are massive, the analog ones, so it'd be smaller, it'd be quite nice. And the way I would improve this camera would be a traditional flash. Being able to apply filters after you've taken the picture, like you can on the SQ10 and 20. But the only problem with the SQ10 and 20 is you can't save the image, the digital image, with the filter on. So on here you can, obviously, because you apply it beforehand. So I would like a combination of both, really. And I do miss some of the filters that were on the SQ10 and 20, like the colour filter, where you can just have one colour, say red, and the rest black and white. So that's how I would improve this camera if I was to have an ideal hybrid camera. I worry about this print lever because it's very plasticky, and I've caught it a few times, putting it in my pocket. I'm frightened I might break it one day. So I think this camera's better in a case, definitely. So yeah, I do recommend this camera. I must say, when I first went over to the hybrid cameras, the SQ10, I was disappointed with the digital side, the digital images. But over time, I've grown to like these cameras, and I see them for what they are. They're there just so you can print pictures onto a small film. The digital images are there as a backup for the physical ones, I would say. Okay, so what do you think? Will you be buying this in February, or do you prefer the analog? And will you ever come round to these hybrid cameras? Let me know, and take a look at my written review. The link is below, and thank you for listening. Bye.